You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast, and this is show number 242 for, well, I'm not quite sure when I'm going to release it, at the beginning of January 2019.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my good friend Jayne Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Happy New Year, Jayne!
Happy New Year to you as well, my darling. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you, my lovely?
Yes, all relaxed and recovered, I think, from Christmas now.
I must admit, a few people were a little bit shocked that the day after Boxing Day I'd had enough and I took down the Christmas tree.
Yes, that didn't happen in my household. Mine stay up to the last moment possible. But you have animals to contend with.
Well, you see, I've got a very kitten-like 2-year-old Burmese girl, and she liked to launch herself at the tree. And in past years, she's broken some of my Swarovski crystal that I've had on the tree, and I just couldn't bear to have any of my Disney ornaments attacked by her. So I thought, right, that's it. It's going away. I've had enough. Christmas is over. I'm in a strop because I've not been in a Disney park at Christmas and I'm done with it.
Bless you.
I know. It just makes me want to decorate the living room now because it's so dull and drab without all the tinsel and fairy lights.
I was like, this is the only problem I always find with when you take all your Christmassy bits and bobs down is that it's the after effect. Everywhere looks a little bit like, a bit lost, doesn't it, sort of thing.
Well, that's why they have all these Christmas sales and Boxing Day sales, because you go out and you buy stuff to make the house look even more bling.
That's why I've stayed inside.
Yeah, and for those of you who are overseas and don't understand this sort of tradition, we have Boxing Day. And Boxing Day is the 26th of December, and it's a day where traditionally everywhere sells off all their tat they couldn't sell before Christmas. And some retailers, and I'm not going to name and shame what retailers, but they specifically buy in stuff just to sell in the sales.
Yeah, I must admit, it kind of does my head in. I'm quite happy to stay at home. I am at a loss for these people who get up at stupid o'clock on Boxing Day morning to stand out in the cold waiting for shops to open up their doors stupidly early when the rest of the year they don't bother opening up that early. It does my head in.
I must admit I did go out to the Boxing Day sales because I needed a little bit of cheering up with the Disney blues that I was suffering from. And I purchased a very fine fake fur emerald green coat, and I love it.
Well, that's okay then.
Yeah, and it was a bargain. It really, really was. So I'm happy with that. And it got me out of the house. And we're going to do a Disney podcast today.
Yay.
And it's been a while because we decided to have a little bit of a break over Christmas because, well, we wanted a break.
Yeah, we're both very busy ladies, aren't we?
We are indeed. And we have got a bumper-packed podcast ahead for you. But before we sort of mush into that, I just thought we'd sort of talk a little bit about Christmas because, it's people like me may have seen pictures of Christmas and thinking, oh, I'd love to go at Christmas and start thinking and planning ahead, or think, on the other hand, I would never go there. But there are benefits of going at Christmas. And I think at times when you see those really long waits, like I think it got up to 5 hours for Flight of Avatar and 4 hours for Radiator Springs Racers. And people perceive that's what it's like the whole time, but it's not.
No, just these little pockets of time, isn't it?
Yeah. So first thing I'd like to start with is because I posted something about the waits. I think it was a 40-minute wait time for People Mover. And we all know that is a walk-on.
Yes.
And I posted, and our good friend and former guest, the lovely Emily Rawlins, posted a little bit of a response because she was out there in Disneyland for Christmas.
Oh, right, okay.
She's been to Disneyland at Christmas before, Walt Disney World at Christmas, Disneyland Paris, so she kind of knows her Disney at Christmas.
Yeah.
But getting into the parks was unrealistic for her. It took her some days, 2 hours to get in because of the long lines for bag check.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I can back that up because one day we decided to have a little bit of a later start and didn't get to the bag check line till 9 o'clock and we were in it for an hour.
Yeah.
I think the only way around it at Disneyland is get there an hour before the doors open, and then that way you're not going to have a ridiculously long wait, because normally if you're there an hour before it opens, you can pretty much get straight in. Otherwise, the lines just get ridiculous. But she says she got there for 8 o'clock opening, and she said everywhere she went for food or coffee or shopping, 30 minutes wait. And then she said she used Max Pass, which is $10 and gives you access using the app to fast passes. But she said by the time she'd got her first fast pass, all the other fast passes for the day had gone.
Right, okay.
So she said that, in her opinion, cast members that she came across weren't exactly full of the joys of spring.
Yeah, it's a difficult time to work, I would imagine, if you've got a lot of people moaning about queue times and wait times and goodness knows what else.
Absolutely. She found it difficult to manoeuvre because of the sheer volume of crowds. But she said the biggest complaint was she decided on this one particular day to go without a handbag.
Okay, so she wasn't having to queue to get in,
Yeah, so she had a coin and purse wallet in a pocket and a mobile phone in another. And she waited in the line to go down the no bag line. And she got there and they said, oh, sorry, that's a bag. You've got to go to the back of the line.
Wowzers.
Now, normally I would have seen Disney sort of say, come on, come straight through. But Disney turned around to her and said no. And she had to go back, wait another 45 minutes to have her coin purse checked.
That's a little bit jobs worthy, I would say, personally.
She's feeling that with her experience, she's feeling quite angry. She went and complained. Disney did some Disney magic and gave her extra park days on her ticket so she could go again.
Okay.
But I think when you go at Christmas, my best tip would be try to avoid the time before Christmas. And I would utilise the time from the 27th through to the 30th, because from experience of going 4 or 5 times in a row, that's when I find it is quieter. Admittedly, come 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, it gets busy.
Yeah, well, it's that classic thing, I think, because of the location of Disneyland, with it being in that city, town area, whatever, you are going to get just the people with lots of people with annual passes just going in on the spur of the moment on a day trip, isn't it? Whereas perhaps with, I know Disney World can be busy as well, but you're not getting that sort of vibe coming in. I always equate it to like Alton Towers over here, where you've got a theme park that's relatively close to a built-up area. Therefore, you have people just descending on it because it's something to do. And that can therefore have a detrimental effect on those of us that are going there as a quote-unquote tourist. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I know for me, I would never expect to go to Disney at Christmas and hit every single attraction, because that's not why you go to Disney, in my opinion, at Christmas, is to do every single attraction, because it's just, you just physically can't, because it's just so busy. I think it's just a matter of enjoying the environment, the atmosphere, soaking it all up. And if you get to do anything, it's a
bonus. Yeah.
And I don't know what Emily's plans were or anything like that. We're going to have her on the show at some point and we'll chat things through with her. But when you've paid out such a lot of money and you get there and you don't have the experience you were planning, it's obviously going to be, you know, a real upset for her.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said that I would love to be out in Disney World at Christmas, but I've always said that and then put the caveat on that I don't expect to be in the parks on certain days, and I don't expect to be able to get on rides that I want to get on. I've already got it in my head. If I'm choosing to go at the busiest time of the year, then I have to expect not to be able to do necessarily the things that I want when I want, and just go there and soak up the atmosphere and bits and bobs that you can get to experience. If you want to be able to do all of the rides, etc., it's going back a lot of years now, but we visited Disney World very late November into the early middle part of December. And that was great because it was quiet. It was absolutely dead in comparison to what you'd expect. And we were able to get on and off rides. Literally, we would get off one ride, walk around and get back on it again, because it was that lull before Christmas. But you still had things happening like, you know, Mickey's Very Merry and all that type of thing. So you got the best of both worlds. You got to experience a Christmassy vibe and we're able to get on rides, etc., with relative ease. But if you want to go specifically at Christmas, then you're going to kind of have to be a realist about it and recognise that everybody else wants to go at Christmas. And I suppose, I've got visions of different holiday movies going around in my head while we're talking. And it is that element of, if everybody's going and wants to have that magical moment at Disney at Christmas, because it's the most magical time of the year, and then you can just imagine it, can't you? And if everybody's little vision in their heads doesn't go quite right, and then people's tempers start to fray and their levels of patience starts to go, you can just see it happening as like a bit of a domino effect where one person's bad experience can ripple out and it infects everybody else.
Yeah. Nobody wants to wait 30 minutes to hand money over for a coffee. Let's be honest.
No.
It is soul destroying to have to do that as well. And when you're wanting to buy merchandise and things like that. So it's all the periphery things that are challenging as well to do. So it just seems really bad for our good friend that, yet again, when she's gone to Disneyland, because I think the last time she went, both her and her partner, her husband, was very ill. She just doesn't seem to have a lot of luck at Disneyland, I'm afraid.
Oh, because you were there last year, weren't you, Michelle?
I was, and I didn't go in the parks on New Year's Eve last year. We went down to the California Science Museum and went to go and see the space shuttle and had a lovely time.
That's right, yeah.
And then we went back to Anaheim about 4:00, plodded around downtown Disney and went to the Esplanade and watched the fireworks from the Esplanade. Didn't go inside the park, and we had a fantastic day.
Yeah. And how did you find the crowds and the queues last year, Michelle? Was it as bad as how Emily's described it for this?
Depends on the time of the day.
Right.
We found until sort of early afternoon it was quite bearable. In fact, some of the attractions in the morning we could just walk straight onto.
Right, okay.
However, come late afternoon, it was soul destroying. You couldn't move, you couldn't breathe. And that's when we sort of took the leave to go and see a show or go and do people watching or have a meal.
Yes.
So that we avoided those pressure points. Or we'd leave and just come back in time to see fireworks or sit somewhere and wait for the parade or something, so that we were not expecting to be part of the melee and the mass of human soup, because it is, unless you've been there, you can't even begin to explain. It's person to person to person. You can't move from Star Tours to across the road where Buzz Lightyear is in Tomorrowland. It is that packed. But we got in early, we got done what we did, we planned really, really well for that, and we just sort of call it a night early and then be up again the next morning early. And we managed to get round it. And as I say, I didn't go in the parks on the busier days. Traditionally, I would have gone like from the 26th to the 30th. I've done New Year's Eve there twice and I've vowed never to do it again because it was that awful.
Yeah. I say, and especially if you don't like crowds, it's not going to be a place for you, is it either?
No. Anyway, let's move on. Away from all the Christmas offerings, because the news front has been a little bit quiet, but there has been a trio of delectables that have come forth in our theme parks that we need to talk about.
Oh, okay. What's this then?
Well, the first one is a cupcake. We all love a good cupcake.
Okie doke.
Now, in December, new to the merchandise front was the Purple Potion mini ears.
Oh, okay.
Now, these are a set of purple sparkling sequined ears, and they are the latest thing. And you'll have seen them all over Instagram with people taking pictures and whatever. They don't seem to have had the massive appeal as the rose gold ones, but time will tell. They may, when Disney run out of stock, that price might be surging up on eBay. But these ears have been brought in as a cupcake.
Okay.
So over at the Contemporary, at the Contempo Cafe, they do tend to have these, sort of really iconic cupcakes. So if you can imagine, those champagne topper ears that you get at Amorette's that have like the little chocolate dome and the ears? Mm-hmm. Well, imagine it's spray painted purple.
Okay.
And it's upon a cupcake that has got purple swirled icing with a little fine sugar ring layer just at the base of the cupcake holder.
Right, okay.
And it's called a surprise cupcake. Now,
is there something inside it then?
There is. Now, it's got this
okay.
beautiful purpley pink swirled lavender buttercream frosting. And when you cut into it, you start to think, it's just a normal sort of vanilla sponge cupcake. But quelle surprise. Inside, there are hundreds and thousands in purple. And then these pink little sort of crunchy ball things that you get in the cupcake world. And it is a surprise, I suppose.
Yeah, it's very much, this is quite the on vogue thing, isn't it, where you have a birthday cake and you cut into it and lo and behold it's full of Smarties or M&Ms or whatever type thing.
To me, to have them filled with the sugary crunchiness without something sort of creamy in there as well, I just think it's going to be a little bit too rich for me. And at $5.49 it's a bit pricey.
Yeah, I can imagine it's going to be rather on the sweet side.
Yeah, but great crunch. You know, sometimes with these cupcakes, you just get a little bit too much sort of softness.
Yeah, and I suppose sometimes we do often talk about these cupcakes can look very nice and have loads of fondant and fancy icing on top, but then when you actually get into it, it's just a cake. There's nothing much to talk about from the cake aspect. So I suppose they've addressed that issue.
Yeah. Well, for me personally, this is never gonna be the ultimate cupcake of the Butterfinger, because that is just the king of cupcakes.
I think I could have predicted what you were going to say there, Michelle.
Well, you know, I am a cupcake connoisseur, and dyeing something purple and putting a white chocolate dyed thing on top isn't going to get me, because it's not flavour. You know, it's about the flavours rather than the appeal. And this is again another case of, in my opinion, of style over substance.
Yes, which can always be the case with these old cupcakes, can it not?
Well, we had this with the rose gold one.
Yes.
And listener of the show, Heather Jayne, has just been in Walt Disney World, and she backs up entirely what I said about the rose gold cupcake. She just said, you know, it looked pretty, but it didn't taste enjoyable at all. So anyway, let's hop somewhere else. I've got 2 other food items to talk about, Jayne. Would you like to go to Disneyland Paris, or would you like to go to Disneyland?
Oh, let's do Disneyland Paris for a change.
Disneyland Paris. Well, Disneyland Paris has been, in our opinion, over the years, sadly lacking in the themed food department. Would you agree?
I would, yes, definitely. The lack of Mickey-shaped things is very evident.
Not anymore.
No.
Mickey-shaped buns, Mickey-shaped cookies, and they've now got, hold the front page, Mickey-shaped waffles.
Woohoo!
With
Finally.
a Parisian flair.
Oh, okay. What's the Parisian flair then?
Well, they've got salted waffles or they've got sweet waffles.
Can I pass on the salted ones?
Well, it's salmon and horseradish cream.
On a waffle?
I struggle with chicken and waffle. Salmon and waffle?
Well, I quite like salmon, and I don't mind the thought of salmon and horseradish together even. But on a waffle, no.
Yeah. But again, it's a European dish, appealing to the European market. That's €9, and these can be all purchased from Victoria's. I have heard nothing but rave reviews, though, about the sweet waffles.
Oh, okay. So what offerings are they doing on the sweet variety?
You've got 2 options, a Nutella and roasted hazelnut.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one was a Disneyland Paris honey and granola with mango and exotic fruit coulis.
Okay.
And I've heard on good authority from our good friend Liz Reid that they are amazing.
The Nutella one sounds quite
she says they're actually quite filling as well, really big and light and fluffy. I know I've posted the range on the Facebook page where, you know, I've shared the pictures. Like they are really cutely presented on like a triangular plate with a big waffle in the middle, and the salmon one has got salmon in both ears, and then horseradish cream over Mickey's face, and yeah, it just looks so cute. And they've brought out a whole range of hot chocolate drinks that you can get as well, because this time of year in Disneyland Paris, it is a bit chilly.
Oh, yes, just a tad.
Yeah. So I thought for $9, those are a really good buy.
Yeah, if they're decent sized ones, yeah.
And while we're talking of Disneyland Paris, I know over here in the UK we have had the most amazing cute video of a little duckling following Donald. Oh my God. If you've not seen it, it's on our Facebook page or go to YouTube, whatever. It is the cutest thing, and they are really gearing up this year their advertising in DLP. And they've got some fantastic deals if you're a UK resident. I don't know about American residents, whether you'll be able to get some of these, but they are offering 25% off hotel and tickets and half-board deals going up to the 11th of February. And then they've got some offers running through April and November on selected deals where you can go and be part of the Marvel season of superheroes.
Yes, because obviously there's a big push on that coming to Disney Studios, isn't there?
Massive push. And I know Hotel New York is going to be closing shortly, so it can have all its
Marvel makeover,
done.
yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely upping their game at Disneyland Paris, and a lot of these deals are actually available during school holidays. Perhaps not Easter, but the February one and the May one.
Yeah, well, I actually had an email from Disneyland Paris because I seem to think I want to go. And yeah, I've actually had one that says for arrivals between the 2nd of April and the 6th of November. So it's quite a big window. So that does cover the vast majority of the UK school holidays. Hey, whether there's little, there might be little outs in there because of, say, likes of Easter and stuff. But it's a big window to book if you want to get 25% off and your half-board meal plan as well. So
yeah,
if you're in the UK, it's worth having a look over there. But you've got to get booked soon. So, yeah.
The next thing I want to talk about is over in Disneyland, the original and the best. And we're talking about the Tropical Hideaway, the newest quick service restaurant that's opened up. And to help you sort of imagine your way around it, it's in Adventureland, tucked between the Enchanted Tiki Room and the queue line for Jungle Cruise, in the area around where Aladdin's Oasis and the overflow sort of city but no use area is in that area.
Okay, it's now got a use then by the sounds of it.
It has a very productive use because it hadn't been utilised for quite a long time, and like they used to give out phantasmic dinner packages there, grab and go meals and things, but yeah, it's not really being utilised, and it looks a really well themed area with nice little tiki nods, and it's an extension of the tiki sort of feel from both the Enchanted Tiki Room, but also bringing in elements of the Jungle Cruise.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they've got some foods that actually sound very familiar.
Ah.
Now, you remember the lumpia that I had over in Walt Disney World at Pongu Pongu, which is next door to Satuli Canteen?
Yes.
Like phyllo pastry with cream cheese and pineapple in. Well, they've brought out a version at Tropical Hideaway, and they've just called it Sweet Lumpia, and their difference is it comes with a dull pineapple dipping sauce.
Ooh, okay.
Now, I'm very keen to find out how it compares to the one in Walt Disney World, because I found the Walt Disney World one quite bland. It didn't really have the flavourings for me.
So I wonder if the dipping sauce then brings it up a notch.
Maybe so. It's a tad more expensive. It's $6.99. But if it's tasty, I don't mind paying it.
No.
Now, they also have a range of bio buns, or bayo buns. I'm not very good with this sort of pronunciation.
Bayo, yeah.
Bayo buns.
Okay, we'll stick with bayo.
They have a veggie, a lime chicken, and a beef option.
Oh, right, okay.
$6. Sounds pretty good. Dollarage price for me.
Yeah.
Nice little snack on the go.
And something a bit different than your burger.
Yeah, I think it's worthwhile giving those a go. As I say, the theming is absolutely astounding. Really, really, really cute animatronic antics from the long-lost Rosita.
Oh, that's cute.
Most people are going to be going there for the Dole Whip.
Ah.
Now, you can up your Dole Whip game. Seriously. And when I talk seriously, I'm talking bacon.
Bacon?
I'm talking bacon. I'm not talking ucky bacon. Now, when you go to Pizza Hut and it says crispy bacon, and you get these things that have come in a container or a plastic bag, and they're probably older than you are.
Yes, these little crispy bacon bits or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
No. This actually looks like proper big lumps of bacon. Absolutely amazing.
On your Dole Whip.
On your Dole Whip. Well, you've just got so many different types of offerings that you can get on these Dole Whip options. There's an orange option, there's a raspberry option, then there's the pineapple option. You can have them swirled with 2 different flavours. You can have the secret menu, which is the bacon, 99 cents for the bacon. So technically you could call it keto because it's got bacon on it.
Yeah, we'll forget about everything else that's in it. Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, it would be. But if it's smoked bacon on top of ice cream, I know it sounds disgusting, but it might just add that smoky, savoury sort of taste.
It might. We need somebody to try this for us, Michelle. Let us know.
Well, true. Now, you can get it as a classic swirl, or you can get it as a loaded whip, where you get those pokey sticks, you know, that are like sort of biscuit with chocolate in, and then you get fruit and coconut shavings. The options are just unreal. And I'm really liking this because it's going to take away the queue line from the Enchanted Tiki Room as well. So if you just want to get your standard one, you can go there. But if you want to get something really, really different...
Yeah, you've got another place to go. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for our good friend Tommy Allison to go over and try Twisted Ambush. He's going to have to FaceTime me.
Oh, that's going to be cruel, that is.
Well, no, but it'd be nice to see. And seeing doesn't mean I have to have the calories either.
Oh, that's true. You can enjoy by osmosis or something.
Yeah. So, a couple of new food items.
There you go, Tommy. There's your challenge for the new year.
Absolutely. Now, we've had a few posts been going on the old Facebook page.
Okay.
Done a bit of, what would you have, what would you like to try, or what would you like to ban? And I did it on 9 different Disney food items. So, Jayne, you've got to decide now which are you going to ban, which are you going to have every trip, and which haven't you yet tried. So, popcorn, turkey leg, churro, citrus swirl, Dole Whip, Mickey pretzel, Mickey bar, corn dog, beignet. Is there any out of them you've not tried?
Actually, I think it's a pretzel.
Ooh.
Although have I? I don't know. It's the one that's screaming out to me that I haven't, unfortunately. But maybe I have. Maybe it was a long while ago.
Is that one you'd be willing to try forgetting the keto diet for a bit?
If I forget that, yeah. I'll be willing to have a bite, put it that way.
Yay! Which would you ban? And I think I know the answer.
Well, I'm torn, actually, between 2. Can I ban 2?
Go on.
Well, turkey leg, obviously.
Yeah.
And corn dog. Ugh.
I've tried a corn dog twice. I've never had a whole corn dog. I personally find 1 bite is enough.
Yeah.
And I do find that the corn dogs from the Little Red Wagon in Disneyland, they are the better ones. But for me, it's just that corn wrapping of the hot dog. It's just not right.
It spoils the dog, to be fair. Just have the dog.
Well,
the dog's perfectly fine.
Yeah. I've never had a turkey leg.
Have you not?
Never had one. Never want to have one because it just looks wrong. It smells wrong, and it's just so bad for you with all that salt.
Yeah,
like
true.
I can say an ice cream is probably bad for you because it's full of fat, bad fat. But at least I did enjoy it. Yeah,
I mean, on the surface, turkey should be great because it's just meat and it should be absolutely fine. But it's just, I don't want to be walking around gnawing on a big leg of meat like that. It's not a pleasant experience.
And, I feel sorry for the poor turkeys who've had the legs cut off. They'll be going round on those little Zimmer things that they get for dogs that don't have legs anymore. Or do they actually kill the turkeys to get the legs off? I'm guessing that.
I think probably, Michelle, yes.
So which is the one that you've got to have every trip to Disney?
Out of those, it'd be the citrus swirl.
Yeah. Oh. You see, I'm torn. I really, really love my Dole Whip. To me, I would love to see a Dole Whip citrus swirl mashup.
I must admit, I do love the Dole Whip, but citrus swirl has always been my preferred option out of the two. Controversial, I know, but
It is indeed. So that was one of the fun things. And we had some lovely comments. And I must admit, we have some incredibly like-minded listeners, because virtually every single listener has said, I want to ban the turkey leg. Amber Nichols, girl power, totally agree. Annette Miller, totally agree. However, controversial thing from Katie Mason, ban the citrus swirl.
why?
Well, she says it makes her feel sick.
Well, she's just wrong then.
But she does actually want to ban the turkey leg as well, so...
Well, that's okay. She's redeemed herself.
Yeah. Marla Chan says she's tried every single one and she wants to have a Dole Whip, a citrus swirl every single trip.
Marla, my girl.
Yeah, they are good. Our good friend Lewis Sutton has said he hasn't tried the citrus swirl. He has Dole Whip every time, and he's going to ban boring popcorn because it needs more flavour than salt and butter. But that's because Lewis has been spoiled by Shanghai's caramel popcorn.
Yeah, I think it's a weird one, because I always associate popcorn with a sweet flavour. So I have to admit, the first few times I had popcorn in a Disney park, it's like, this isn't right, because I'm expecting sweet and I'm getting salt and butter.
When we did the Disney After Dark thing in the summer, where you could get unlimited snacks and things like that from a range of things, and one of them was popcorn. Well, I had 10 pieces of popcorn and it was just, blech. It was like, nah, not even when it was free did I enjoy it. So Tiffany Moss says she hasn't tried the turkey legs. She would ban churros and eat a Mickey bar every time.
Okay.
So lots of really interesting comments on there from all our lovely friends. Thank you ever so much, guys. And then the last one we did was a little bit of a, well, what about Tomorrowland? And I started with Walt Disney World, because in Walt Disney World we've got 8 fantastic Tomorrowland attractions. We've got Astro Orbiter, the Tomorrowland Speedway, we've got Stitch's Great Escape, Carousel of Progress, Space Mountain, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, Buzz Lightyear, and Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. So what would you keep, what would you demolish, and what would you improve?
Ooh. Wow. You're going to have to keep the Tomorrowland Transit.
Everyone sort of agrees with you.
Yeah. You're going to have to keep Carousel of Progress. I'm allowed to.
Gosh,
Sorry.
Well, you could improve
I'm allowed
it.
to.
You can improve it, Jayne. I think
Well,
there's
okay,
room for
yeah.
improvement.
There's room for improvement. I mean, you've got to keep the cheesiness of it, because that's part and parcel of the appeal of it, isn't it? But I think probably, particularly the last scene, the tech element perhaps needs a little bit of a review.
Well, you see, with it being a theatre in the round, the argument would be, which time zone would you delete? Because if you change the current one, you don't get to see what the tech was like in the sort of, I suppose the period was meant to be the 80s, 90s, wasn't it? And if you change it to update it to now, it's such a big gap from the previous time zone. So I would like to see a new one introduced.
Could they squeeze in another room?
Yeah, for what we think the future's going to be like. And this is going to be obviously people going around with 6-foot-long thumbs from using Facebook and gaming stations. We'll have mutated as a species.
Evolved. I think the word is evolved, Michelle.
Mutated.
Okay.
Because it's, in my opinion, it's not for the betterment. Okay, social media has its place of keeping in touch with our lovely friends and family. But to the point that people... Yeah, anyway, I'm digressing. So we've got your... Which one are you demolishing?
I'm going... Well, come on. Ask me a stupid question.
Stitch.
No, well, no, you see.
Tomorrowland Speedway.
Thank you. Yeah.
You see, I wouldn't demolish it. I'd improve it.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, can you improve it so it's not so noisy and stinky?
Well, that's the improvement I would make. I would make them hover cars like in Back to the Future, but a Disney version.
Well, they should be eco-friendly and be electric cars, shouldn't they? Yeah.
I would love to see them do something where that they are an electric vehicle and it's themed around a Disney franchise. You know, you've got so many chase scenes in the Disney sort of film genres now. You know,
True.
Or you could have a connection between each one, because there's the chase scene in Ratatouille, there's the scene in Toy Story where Woody is trying to get and Buzz are trying to get back onto the moving van. That'd be cool. You've obviously got the first one, Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
You know, so there's so many options that you can go down the route of.
True, because it's not because say it is that weird thing of there's no license buy-in to it, is there? So it would be an easy one in that respect to bang a license on.
And definitely you've got to do something with Stitch, in my opinion, because it's a room that goes dark, you're strapped in by a shoulder harness and you're spat on. I'm sorry, I can go out in town on a Friday night and have that happen to me.
True, yeah. I think there's a decent amount of space there. Let's just draw a line under it and start again.
Yeah. Lots of people saying keep people mover. They absolutely adore it. A lot of people saying improve the guns on Buzz Lightyear, which is a point because they are a bit of a pain in the neck. I am rubbish at that game. Scott Cowan says Buzz Lightyear needs to be gutted and redone in the style of Toy Story. I'm presuming he means Midway Mania, so something along those lines. I don't know.
Difficult one.
Have to have discussion, Scott. Yeah. A lot of people though do actually say Buzz Lightyear needs an upgrade. The Disneyland version is better. Walt Disney World isn't worth going on. So yeah, lots of comments there. So thank you guys. I will be posting other ones on these for us to have a bit of fun with, because it's great because we've all got an opinion and everybody's opinions are valued, and we're not going to ridicule people for having strange views that they want more Stitch. Even if we disagree with you, we'll say, well, somebody's got to like it.
Yeah, true. I mean, I love Stitch, don't get me wrong. Stitch is lovely, but yeah.
Anyway, Jayne, I think we've had a little bit of a bumper old session there today, recording that. I'm going to try and get this out before our usual release date of Sunday, so that, you know, because people have missed us and now they're getting back over the Christmas period, they'll want a good Disney podcast to listen to, so I'll try and get that out in the, you know, a little bit earlier than Sunday, and we'll be back though officially and properly on the 13th of January 2019. Wow, time is ploughing on. Oh my word, can you believe it? I'm at about 202 days to my Disney trip.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I started a spreadsheet the other day because I know ADRs are going to be coming up soon.
Fair point, yeah.
I did honestly start my spreadsheet on Excel. I've got all the days listed. I've looked at the opening hours and tried to work out a pattern of what time the parks will be opening and closing. And I've got a list of what restaurants I want to eat at.
Bless you.
Technically not many, because we've got this Disney dining deal where we get breakfast every day. Like a bed and breakfast deal. But I've gathered that it doesn't always have to be breakfast, that you can go use it at a counter service for lunch.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a counter service credit. So
yes.
Because for me, breakfast is a protein shake. I don't tend to have sort of like waffles and pancakes on holidays because I literally come back the size of a I don't know what. Anyway, we were wrapping up the show many eons ago. We've loved hearing from you guys over the Christmas period, you know, joining in our little quizzes and competitions and things. It's great. Please keep it up. We love to hear from you. You know, if you're going to Disney, let us know. Please share your experiences with us. You can get in touch on our Facebook page through Messenger. You can get in touch by commenting on our website, Disney Dream Girls. You can tweet us or Instagram us at Dis Dream Girls. But until next time, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.